Hi, my name is Jared Barrett, and I am the CEO of the company H2 Therapeutics, and we are coming up with an innovative way to deliver hydrogen therapy for the benefit of patients who are suffering from illnesses associated with free radicals and oxidative stress. And Parkinson's disease being one such example that I'll be focusing throughout this pitch competition. So what is the main concern or problem with Parkinson's disease? There are over 900,000 patients in the United States that suffer from this, and it significantly impacts their quality of life. So you can see down here in the lower right-hand corner, a patient who is exhibiting some of the major characteristics associated with Parkinson's disease, but it's just not the quality of life. There's a significant economic burden associated with the care of treating patients with Parkinson's. Kerry here is one such example of a patient with Parkinson's. He's been battling it for 6 years, and it has impacted his quality of life. It inhibits his ability to be physically active and engaged with his cute grandkids. But also, he's just seen a progression throughout the years, and it keeps getting worse year after year, despite recurring visits with the neurologist. And one time, just recently, the neurologist said, "Hey, Kerry, would you be open to trying a new therapy that is infusing hydrogen gas in water and you would drink it?" And so he came to me as one of his scientific colleagues, and he said, "Hey, Jared, what do you know about hydrogen therapy?" And so as a scientist, I started researching and seeing what the evidence that's already been done with hydrogen therapy. And it turns out there's quite a bit of evidence to suggest that hydrogen therapy works for Parkinson's disease. There have been animal studies that have shown the prevention of Parkinson's disease, as well as significantly some human clinical studies conducted in Japan that showed year-long treatments that reduce the effects of Parkinson's disease, which is absolutely unheard of for this type of progressive neurological disorder. So how this works is the hydrogen gas is a very small molecule that can go anywhere throughout the body, and what it is doing, it is neutralizing the free radicals that are causing damage to those neurons in the brain that result in Parkinson's. And so why haven't we heard about hydrogen therapy before? Why is it not more ubiquitously utilized throughout the United States? Some of the barriers that exist to hydrogen therapy are that there are no FDA-approved devices associated with hydrogen generation. Also, the research shows that the most significant way to get the benefits from hydrogen therapy are through these long durations of 8-hour treatments through inhalation therapy rather than drinking the infused water. Now, these hydrogen generators, they also come with a barrier that's very cost prohibitive. And most of the machines, they run anywhere from $2,000 to $8,000. And with that, there's no insurance coverage to help, so this is all out-of-pocket expense for the patient. So our solution for inhalation for this hydrogen therapy is inhalation therapy. We're going to come up with a device that is FDA approved, and we also are able to facilitate the dosing for those long treatments by coupling our device with existing CPAP devices. So these are devices used for people to help open up their breathing while they're sleeping. And interestingly, with Parkinson's disease patients, there is a significant subset, in fact 540,000, that are also currently using CPAPs. And Kerry actually happens to be one of those patients that has both Parkinson's and is using a CPAP. So we figured we can manage the long-term dosing with that delivery while you're sleeping. As well as we're going to make our device compatible with smartphone applications so you can get that precise control of the intermittent dosing. And we're offering this all at a much more effective or lower cost at $1,500 for the H2TX device. And so this is how we envision our product looking like in the home of the customer. The H2TX will be sitting on the nightstand next to the CPAP, and both of them will be either providing that positive airway pressure to the patient, or in the case of our machine, the hydrogen gas, so they can be breathing that throughout the night. And so how does this stack up against our competitors? There are a number of other hydrogen generating machines that currently exist. A lot of them are being produced in Japan, but we are going to be the first ones that are FDA approved here in the United States. We're also making it such that it's compatible with those CPAPs so we can take unique advantage of that delivery system while a patient is sleeping. We're also making it compatible with smartphone applications, as well as we're seeking to be the first one to have that insurance coverage. And we're one of two companies that are manufacturing and based out of the United States. So how do we see this opening up for market opportunities when we have these type of advantages? Well, our beachhead market, what we're specifically focusing on is that group of customers or patients that are currently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, but they also are using a CPAP machine. But we can easily pivot away from Parkinson's disease because there are a number of other customers and patients throughout the United States that are using CPAP. In fact, there are 25 million CPAP users in the United States. And a lot of them suffer from other diseases that could benefit from the hydrogen therapy as an antioxidant to fight oxidative stress. Now, what about those patients that have Parkinson's disease but are not currently on a CPAP? Well, we have an alternative solution for them as well. We can offer inhalation therapy through a nasal cannula system. And so how does this project forward as far as our finances are concerned and where we're moving forward with the sales and generating revenue with the H2TX? Well, at year 5, we project selling 90,000 units, which will generate $50 million of gross profits. And you can see in the first 2 years, though, we're going to be basically flatline as we go through the FDA approval process, as well as doing some of those human clinical tests to make sure that our device is safe. And so our go-to-market plan to make all this possible really hinges on this cooperation with a manufacturing partner that is ISO certified as well as FDA compliant. And we've identified Control Tech as such a manufacturer based out of Vancouver, Washington. And they're able to help us assist in generating the FDA approved H2TX. And once we have that approval, we're going to approach sleep centers and pharmacies that are licensed to sell durable medical equipment so that we can then reach customers. And we'll also be taking on an active social media campaign in which we get the word out with some of these scientific results and research studies that would support the use of our device in various disease states. And not only within the scientific community, but there's also websites such as h2hub.com that promotes and validates hydrogen therapy products to their over 100,000 followers. And so what's been happening up to this point to achieve some of these goals that we have for our company? Well, back in 2019, we started beta testing our first prototype. In March of 2020, we launched our website and we submitted a provisional patent application, which was approved. And in April of 2020, we initiated and started that contractual agreement with the manufacturer Control Tech, which has led to networking to other companies that have helped us in the FDA regulatory process. And later this month, we're submitting our first NIH SBIR grant, which will help us study specifically the safety and efficacy of the H2TX in clinical studies as it pertains to Parkinson's disease. And so who are the individuals who have kind of helped this project come to fruition? Well, there's myself, the CEO, as well as the Chief Scientific Officer that's pushing this project. Carrie Casperson is our Chief Financial Officer and has many years of experience running healthcare businesses and has that business acumen to make sure our company is profitable. Taft Barrett is our Chief Technological Officer, and he is also a software engineer helping on the project. And Will Cannon and Hugo Rayo are our Chief Operating Officer and Chief Marketing Officer that have both a background in business as well as healthcare. And we have strategic partners also that help that are all in place. They have agreements lined up to help with manufacturing, the FDA regulations, as well as the clinical trial research. And all this is just waiting on hold pending funding to push these projects forward. And so what we are seeking is $2 million to help finalize our product design, as well as to initiate some of these early stage clinical trial research studies to test the safety of our product. And then we are also going to use some of those funds to invest into market research for our insurance coverage, as well as completing that FDA de novo application. And finally, we also want to use some of those funds to complete the patent filing, which if we were to be awarded through the Boise Startup Week funds, then we could put that to immediate use and check off that box for the patent filing. And so if you're interested in partnering with us and exploring some of the options of how hydrogen therapy can help patients that suffer from illnesses associated with oxidative stress and free radicals, here's my virtual business card. I encourage you to reach out to me via email or through the phone, and love to discuss more of this with you. Thank you.